Hello everyone. I am Mariel Delario and I am one of your reporter for today. Our topic for today is Lesson 4, the Code of Ethics, Professional Teachers. But we must focus on the Article 4. So first, let me introduce to you our introduction. A professional code of ethics. Sorry for that. A professional code of ethics outlines teachers' primary responsibilities to their students and defines their role in a student's life. So, we, as a future educators, we must demonstrate the impartiality, the integrity, and the ethic behavior in the classroom, which is whether the virtual class or in a personal class or the face-to-face class. So as a future educator, as educators, we must be responsible. We must be prepared for everything. So next is our main topic, which is the Article 4, the title A Teacher or the Teacher in the Profession, or the relationship of teachers and the teaching professional or the teaching profession. So we have five section. First is section 1. Syempre. So section 1. Section 1 tell us that every teacher shall actively help ensure that teaching is the noblest profession and shall manifest genuine enthusiasm and pride in teaching as a noble calling. Teaching really is not a lucrative position. No one really gets financial rich in the teaching position, but we might be rich when it comes relationship. Since no one gets financially rich in the profession, it still is a noblest profession. It's a noble calling. Not everyone can be a teacher because not everyone called to be a teacher. So teaching is a vocation. We are called, as a future educator, we are called to be a teacher. And we are called to perform a particular mission, and that is to educate the young minds. Or the young of minds, rather. In that first say, would make teaching the noble profession. There was a story, and that story, wherein everyone is lining up in heaven. We have the lawyer, the doctor, the nurses, police, and the last in the line is a teacher. So everyone is already get in. And the last one, San Pedro asked the teacher, because she or he is the last one. San Pedro asked the teacher, why you should enter the gate of heaven? Then the teacher state, or ang teacher ng tubag, diba? All those person that you let them in are all my students. And so, San Pedro let the teachers come in. So as you can see, we are the one. So because we are the future educator, we are the one who guide a person individuals to be on that stages. Si dili sila maabot kung unsa sila karon kung wala ta or wala ang mga teacher. Kaya na makabot ba sila og engineering, nurses, doctor, kung di sila magagi sa atua. So syempre, teacher jud ang magdala sila sa stages kung asa sila gusto o sa profession kung asa sila gusto. Excuse me. And that's someone in the society. We are the one to motivate, who nurture individuals so that unlock their potentials. In that way, that is one of the noblest job. So that's the noblest job, to motivate and to nurture individuals and to unlock their potentials. When we say a teacher is a teaching career is not a lucrative position. That's what I said earlier. And also, Section 1 states that shall manifest genuine enthusiasm. So, we must always be happy, those things happily joy, because in that way, we inspire and we aspire as a best person. We inspire those children in the classroom. And the last is we have pride in teaching as a noble calling. We should never associate the just being a teacher, because a teacher is not just a teacher. We are the future professionals. We are the professions who cultivate, who can produce other positions. So don't say just. Kay kita teacher, dili lang kay kita isa ka teacher. We also the second parents of our students, to our fellow students. A teacher have pride in herself, a pride in her heart, in a humble humility in our attitude as a teacher. So that's the section 1. So next we have section 2. The section 2 tells us that every teacher shall uphold the highest possible standards of quality education, shall make the best preparation for the career of teaching, and shall be at his best at all times in the practice of his profession. So as a teacher, we should always be prepared. We should always possess the word prepared. Because we the teacher, we are the future teacher, future educator. So we need to be prepared for everything. Not all just in lessons, but also in ourselves. And also, we need to be ready to hold those highest possible standards of quality education. Because as a teacher, we don't share information that are just a gut or we get yet from the resources that are not verified. Because most of the teacher we knew really do that. Verified information for that case from the TikTok, from a vlogger, or from a incomparison video. But without truly search the facts, wala sila nag-search sa tama na informasyon. So kita as a teacher, kita may role model. So kita mismo muhatag tamang informasyon o be a good example for our fellow students. So excuse me. So we have 4 processes that we need to overcome for us to be called professional. And so, that the preparation for the career of teaching, the preparation or the career of teaching, the preparation of trainings. We need to be trained, and also we need to attend seminars. We need to listen to those who are in fields for how many years. We need to absorb information to those who have experienced the best in this profession. In that way, we are ready, or we are getting ready as a teacher, and we have already prepared the teaching career. and we shall be at his best at all times in the practice of his profession. When the moment we enter the classroom, you are the best person. You are the best person and shall be the best person in front of your student. You practice your profession. You need to practice your profession always at your best, because the moment that you will give some standard in teaching who affects your students and your learners. As a teacher, as a future teacher, we should always give them nothing but the best, as they say. So to be able to give them the best, for short, we always need to be ready. So next is the section 3. Every teacher shall participate in the Continuing Professional Education CPE program of the Professional Regulation Commission and shall pursue other studies as will improve his efficiency, enhance the prestige of the profession, and strengthen his competence, virtues, and productivity in order to be nationally and internationally competitive. So you see, it was already in section 3 of the article 4 of the teacher and the profession. It is for ourselves. It is for yourselves. As we have said, as I have said earlier, a teacher in section 2, they keep on telling us to be prepared and to preparation for teaching career. In section 3, through continuing professional education, we are preparing ourselves to be better, to choose, to give following education. We are not stopping because we are moving forward. We are learning because learning is continuous, as we have said. We keep on giving knowledge. So we need to be more knowledge, or so we need to be gain more knowledge, and in that way, we need to always continue to read and to continue our studies. So next, we proceed to the section 4. Every teacher Every teacher shall help is duly authorized to seek support for the school, but shall not make improper mispresentation through personal advertisement and other questionable means. It just want to say that it is okay to do something in representation of the school, but we should always authorized. You should always authorized by the school. So you will not use the name of school in so many ways. Whether it will give the advantages or disadvantages without the authorization of the sets of school. So we should not make improper interpretation through personal advertisement in other questionable means. So, kung may binebenta kang libro at sinasabi mong affiliated ka sa school na to, or may binabago kang affiliated sa may binabago kang affiliated sa intakan mo, or when you say, I am affiliated from this school, but you are not, diba? So you're already not following, or you're disregarding the section 4. That's what that mean of section 4. So now, let's proceed with the section 5. So now we have the section 5, the last day, and the section 5 states that every teacher should use the teaching profession in a manner that makes it a dignified means for earning a decent living. So as a professional teacher, it's okay to have businesses, to have other means of earning. So, sama sa gingon ni Ma'am, nakalimot ko pinsa to siya, Ma'am Laurel, bato siya. Sama siyang giingon, kung kita sa naka-teacher, dapat tayo yung pagkakitaan. Like, kung teacher na ta, napod tayo sariling business sa mga isdaan or kanang tilapyahan, puno, or something nga nakigulayan, ng something nga mamaligya kang maruya to earn more money, diba? But, bisan pag natay lang mga business, we should always remember to have that any addition, make sure it is decent. The manner that makes dignified, always dignify the teaching profession. We are as a being teacher, as we are being related to that position, we should always make sure that we are act accordingly, and those things accordingly and accordance with being decent and being ethical. Because once you are a teacher, you'll always be a teacher, no matter what. No matter world will go, no matter what you do, no matter what you wear or dressing. Because it is not like with other position, with the moment that they will take off or ginahubo na nila ilang mga dresses or ilang mga uniforms, like sa doctors, nurses, and yes, they are no longer that job or profession. Unlike us, we always carry being a teacher. Biskan pag nanata sa balay, teacher lang gihapon ta. Biskan pag matutag daing nasod, teacher lang gihapon ta. Because we are professional. Diba? So that I think that's it for our Article 4, which is consists with 5 section. The Article 4 state the teacher and the profession. That will be all. Thank you and God bless.
By the way, my name is Dandelelia. So for this time, we're about to talk about the teacher as a person. Now we have here our introduction. The teachers, in other words, should not be seen as mere technicians delivering a national curriculum or anything else. Now teaching involves skills, values, and expertise. It draws on the whole person of teachers who must be valued as people if they are give their best. Now, teaching takes place in contexts which are challenging and diverse and which call for expertise and judgment in resolving the dilemmas which are posed. Now, basically, we already knew that the teacher are the one who involved in making the student to be developed in terms of the learning. Now, basically, as a teacher, you should allow yourself to deal with those people, especially to your student, na they will also value you as a teacher, and you also as a teacher you know how to value a student. Okay, next we have the teacher as a person. So we have here the teacher as a person based on the Article 6. Now we have here the Section 1. So that Section 1 says that the teacher shall live with dignity in all places at all times. Now basically, as a teacher, now you should have the dignity in all places at all times, because as a teacher, you know already that you are a professional in terms of your career, and as a professional, you should insist to yourself that you have the dignity, that you should be value, and that you should be honored in all places as a teacher. We have here the section 2. The section 2 says that a teacher shall place a premium upon self-respect and self-discipline as the principle of personal behavior in all relationships with others and in all situations. Now, as a teacher also, that we should have, yun siya na ang pinaka the best jud nga insist sa teacher, which is the self-respect and the self-discipline. Because sa self-respect, you as a teacher, di na tumaywasan na there are some student nga pasaway. So you as a teacher, you should know, you should always respect the student in order for you to be respected also. Because if wala kay respeto sa person towards you, or maybe sa student or the parents man, or maybe sa students, if you cannot give a respect, so therefore you will not be respected also. So by that, it is important in a teacher to have a self-respect in order to control his or her emotions in terms of some problems of the life. Okay. Now in self-discipline, yes, it is very important that a teacher should have a self-discipline in terms of mga bawal, no. You as a teacher, you should know how to discipline yourself in terms of those mga things that very strict jud nga gi-prohibit nga buhaton as a teacher, because by that your personal behavior will be makita sa mga estudyante, which is you will serve as a model nga makita nila nga good kayo lang teacher. Okay, section 3. A teacher shall maintain at all times a dignified personality which could serve as a model worthy of emulation by learners, peers, and others. So, as what I said earlier, kanina, that you as a teacher, you should have a dignified personality. So, what are those dignified personality? Now, those personality nga makita sa learner nga very, pakaingon ang learner or student ba na si teacher is very good jud, which is kailangan jud tularan. So, by that, you as a teacher, you will bring an impact to your learner or to the student, and by that the learner will be able to encourage sila nga, for example, you as a teacher nga makita pod sa imong fellow student nga, for example, in terms of your manamit ka, so as a learner or a student, maka visualize sila, so there will be encouraged, no. So by that, you as a teacher, you should be a role model jud, especially inside or outside of the classroom. Okay, next we have the last section. We have the section 4. A teacher should always recognize the Almighty God or being as guide of his own destiny and of the destinies of men and nation. Yes, this is very important, that the teacher should have a beliefs in a Almighty God or a being, because by that it will touch the spiritual spiritual beliefs sa estudyante, because by having that, especially makita na to nga na jud ni ang pagtuo jud, especially sa mga teachers when they started before the class. So before the class started, usually it started with a prayer in order for us to be guide or to be ma-motivate pod ta also. Okay, next, so we have here the abstraction. Now to sum up all those section that I have mentioned, so much is demanded of the teacher as a person. He or she is looked up to as model. Yun na yung sa section 3 kanina. She is looked up to as a model and therefore must walk her talk or ends up like a noisy gong or a clanging cymbal. So this is a big challenge to his or her highest obligation is to live with dignity in all places at all times. Yun na nga, that you as a teacher, you have the dignity na imong i-insist, or you have the dignity sa imong sarili nga bisag asa ka ibutang, you have the dignity that you have the right, or you have the right to be respected, you have the honor to be respected jud. Okay, so he or she will never regret if he or she has made up self-respect and self-discipline as the governing principle on his or her relationship with all the people in all situations. Now those andito siya sa section relationships with the people. Yun na nga, yun sa section 2, the self-respect and self-discipline. So as a teacher, na-mention ko na yun kanina, that as a teacher, it's important that you have the self-respect sa imong sarili and the self-dinoo. Now, the professional teacher will be resolute in his or her intent to maintain a dignified personality and so can serve as a model for the learners, peers, and all others. So, yun na nga yung na-explain ko kanina, that you as a teacher, you should have a dignified personality para you should have a dignified personality para ma-encourage nimo no that you will going to bring an impact to the student yun by having that kind of personality na maka-encourage ka og estudyante, so that it will help the student na ma-encourage yun sila, tapos it will help us to bring to their own career. Okay. So we have here the Code of Professional Conduct for Public School Teachers cited in Section 7 of Republic Act 460 puts in succinctly. So we have here the integrity. So when we talks about the integrity, it is the quality of a person of being an honest, no? So it possess the strong moral values when it comes to integrity. So integrity, when it comes to the teacher, since the teacher's work is not confined merely to the development of certain fundamental skills and abilities encompassed by the teaching of the 3 R's. Alam niyo yung 3 R's? So, the 3 R's, yun na nga, yung first is the reasoning, resilience, and responsibility. So, those now, but also those 3 R's but also includes the development of desirable habits and attitudes that go into the formation of a character. So you as a teacher, dili lang ka magmatter sa development of the 3R, but also you are involved po no in formation of a character, especially sa imong student, because by forming their attitudes, their habits, so their manners of living should provide a worthy examples po for the pupils and student to emulate, for his fellow teachers to be proud of, and for the community to feel as a being enriched it. So yun na nga, as a teacher, I conclude that you as a teacher, you should be a dignified teacher. You have a dignity in order for you to be to bring an impact to your student. You are the one to involve in terms of formation. Yun na nga, yun dito, the formation of the character, especially sa atong estudyante, no, because by doing that, so we can pwede ta maka-provide pod og mga better individuals pod, pwede ta maka-provide ta og better individuals when we as a teacher pohon if we are, so mo na siya atong trabaho. So we are the one who form we are the one to develop their attitudes pod. Okay, in order for the student kami encourage po nato ta, and those student kami encourage nato pohon will going to help also the community natong gipuy-an karon. So that's all for the teacher as a person.
Article 10, the teacher and business. While the salaries of teachers in the Philippines are still lower compared to other ASEAN member states, teachers' salaries considerably increased after EDSA. But despite the significant salary increases, teachers trend to overborrow or engage in business to eke out income. This part of Lesson 4 is focused on the teacher and his or her involvement in business. In Article 10, Section 1, a teacher has a right to engage, directly or indirectly, in legitimate income generation, provided that it does not relate to or adversely affect his work. So, sa section 1, ang mga teachers, no, naa sila'y right na mo-join sa mga ibang negosyo para kumita directly or indirectly man. So, example, si teacher, no, is na ay business na like online selling, no, sari-sari store, mga korpo-korpo or iba pang mga work para maka-extra income. Aside sa teacher na siya, dili niingon na maka-apekto jud sa iyahang work as a teacher. Siguro time management lang jud. So, section 2, a teacher should maintain good reputation with respect to financial matters, such as in settlement of his job debts, loans, and other financial affairs. So, sa section 2, as a teacher, dapat ma-maintain gihapon nimo kanang giingon na good reputation with respect sa mga butang financial man, mga business na ginaapilan nimo. Example, umutang si teacher, no, kung muutang man gani ka or nakay utang sa work nimo like kanang mga loan, di ba, as a teacher dapat responsible na obligasyon jud nimo na mubayad or bisag asa ka muutang. So, section 3, no teacher shall act directly or indirectly as agent of or be financially interested in any commercial venture which furnish textbooks and other school commodities in the forecast and disposal of which he can exercise official influence, except only when his assignment is inherently related to such forecast and disposal, provided that such shall be in accordance with existing regulations. So, sa section 3, ang pasabot ani kung giingon sa section 3, kining mga libro gani bisag sa elementary or sa college na ginagamit nato gani, si teacher wala jud ginaingon diri nga ang isa ka teacher is wala siya right na ibaligya ang mga libro or bisag unsa na gamit gikan sa school para pagkakitaan. Kay kung buhaton na nimo or ni teacher, no, teacher pa jud ka, murag na jud na siya consequence. If I know na jud batas ana nga dili nimo pwede ibaligya or pabayaran ang libro unless kung imuha na or ikaw ang nag-publish. Okay? Consider the findings of the study on teachers borrowing assured by DepEd Secretary Leonor Briones. So, number 1, the propensity of public school teachers to borrow is 505 higher compared to other employees of the government such as the police and nurses. So, giingon dirian na ang mga teachers daw ang naay mas mataas na hilig manghiram or umutang ng pera, no, or loan compared sa mga ibang employees ng government tulad ng police and nurse. Aside from the possibility of not receiving any pay once they're retired, public school teachers may also suffer sanctions from reprimand to revocation of licenses to teach due to their unpaid loans. So, there are more than 500 pending cases versus teachers filed by various lending institutions in the past 3 years. So, lisod jud nga mag-loan, no, tas ikaw nga teacher kay dili makabayad. So, aside sa wala kay madawat pag retired na ka, ano, kay tungod sa mga unpaid loan nimo, pwede ka ayo ka tanggalan ng lisensya. So, ing-ana pag di ka makabayad og loan, giingon sa diri nga na ay more than 500 pending cases, daghan kaayo laban sa mga teachers nga gi-filed by various lending institutions in the past 3 years. So, teachers owe 70 billion pesos from legitimate leading institutions. So, ang teacher, ang dako jud kaayo ang mga teacher nga naay utang or loan. So, no? Kung isipon ninyo 17 billion, so dako jud siya kaayo. And does not live by bread alone, says the Bible. Understandably, the professional teacher needs money to satisfy his/her bodily needed. In Article 10, Section 1 of the Code of Ethics allows the teacher to engage in legitimate income generation provided that it does relate to or adversely affect his work or a teacher. And Section 3 also states no teacher shall act, directly or indirectly, as agent of or be financially interested in any commercial venture which furnish textbooks and other school commercial commodities in the forecast and disposal of which he can exercise official influence, except only when his assignment is inherently related to such forecast and disposal, provided that such shall be in accordance with existing regulations like sa mga explain na ko lately, no? So, as a teacher, it is important na you should live with dignity at all the times and all places. As a teacher, dapat ikaw ang mas manguna, di ba? Or be a good model. So, a teacher must maintain a good reputation with respect to financial matter tulad ng mga pagbabayad ng kanyang utang or loans. If teachers live with the principle of self-respect and self-discipline ayon sa Code of Ethics ay walang magiging problema. So, dapat lang na mas kilala ang mga guro no, sa kanyang pangangailangan, dapat maging responsible lang sa lahat ng trabaho. So, we have here following questions. Number 1, with teachers borrowing habits, which section of Article 10 teachers fail to observe? Number 2, when do professional teachers violate Section 3 of Article 10? Okay, your answer is pwede ninyo siya ibutang sa papel and then picturean and then pwede ninyo isend sa atuang GC. So, that's it. Thank you for listening.